Hi, everybody.
Hi, how are you?
Good. My name is Gail Glazebrook, and I'm here with Russell Midori, and we are going to watch the Robb Saez Jose Parica match here at the third annual George Ginky Sanssouci Memorial Tournament. We're here at Steinway Billiards. I am recording and broadcasting live via Inside Pool as well as NYC Grind. Hi, Russell. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, Gail. It's been a good day so far of play here at Steinway. And we're looking forward to a good match with Jose Parica and Robb Saez.
Two veterans of the game, for sure.
Jose Parica, of course, from California, but is a Filipino player. And he is nicknamed Amang for the father, or the giant killer in Filipino, in Tagalog.
He's definitely a killer, that's for sure.
As for Robb Saez, he's from Bridgeport, Connecticut. He's traveled all over for over a decade, and he's been playing the game for 23 years.
It's a long time. Were you alive then?
23 years ago? Yes, I was, but I wasn't holding a pool stick back then.
Me neither. Pacifier?
No, I was past that. I was a kindergartner, I suppose.
Gotcha. And let's see the matches. Let me get you can see as we progress throughout the match, you'll see the score in your upper left-hand corner when we've got this camera view. Looks like Robb is just getting his warm-up strokes in.
It's always fun to watch these guys when they're warming up and they're very loose. They have no pressure on them, and see the kind of shots that they take and really get a look at some of the skills that they have that sometimes they don't always bring out in a professional match.
I agree. Loosey-goosey. How do you like to warm up?
I suppose what I like to do is take the same shot a bunch of times over and over again, and just kind of focus my eyes. You know, my favorite game to warm up with is straight pool.
You must be a New Yorker. It's pretty popular game up here. Where Jose's from California, out there, they're big one pocketers.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so East Coast versus West Coast, they've got different favorites.
But I like to warm up with a game that at least challenges me to some degree in strategy and forces me to think outside the box for different events and work on my patterns for the game.
I too like to use straight pool as a warm-up, and I think it's because there's so many easy shots that can come up in the game, and I'll find that I hang those balls because I'm not focused, and so it reminds me to keep that focus. I'll make a really difficult shot because I really, I focus and zone in on that ball, and then I'll miss the hanger hanging in front of the pocket because I'm sitting here thinking about the next shot and I forgot to make the first ball.
Okay, here's the lag.
Looks like Parica won that. We're playing with the Predator Pro-Am Tour rules. 10 ball, call shot, call safety, and it is rack your own. You must call all shots in this tour. And this is a collaboration of 3 different tours in the area. Predator Pro-Am Tour, run by Tony Robles and William Finnegan. The Tri-State Tour, run by John Lehman, Todd Fleetman, and Rick Shellhouse. And we also have the Mez Tour, run by Jose Burgos. All in honor of George Sanssouci, a dear friend, amazing pool player who passed away 3 years ago. And Tony decided to put this tournament together in honor of him because he was an extremely prominent figure in this area for a very long time, dominated the Tri-State Tour. Tony is in the player meeting before the amateur event yesterday. John Lehman was talking about how important Ginky was, and he said in the 90s it was either Tony or Ginky was winning the Tri-State Tour that weekend. It became the Tony Ginky show because those two were both always going to be playing in the tournaments, and you never knew who was going to win, but it was going to be one of them most of the time. Frankie liked to sneak in there every now and then.
Yeah, you can see the 10 ball setup. One thing that's really great is that everybody came here together to honor Ginky, and his family came and made an appearance, and they're watching the match right now.
Yep. Aaron and Irene and a couple other family members are in the audience watching the feature table that you're watching on the live stream right now, thanks to Inside Pool and NYC Grind. And we'll have our first break. Jose Parica. And Jose did make a ball in that break, and he's got a nice clean shot at the one ball on the rail. But he should be okay with this shot. And I don't see any problems in this rack. I mean,
he's going to have to come around the 8 to get position on the 2, but he has a nice clean spread.
The only trouble spot maybe getting from the 3 to the 5. He's got a couple of balls he's going to have to negotiate. And for those just tuning in, that 8-5 score is not the correct score. This is actually the first rack of this match. They just haven't updated that scorecard yet in the top left-hand corner.
Also in Parica, as I said earlier, make sure you rack the 1 in the point and center, 2 and the 3 in the bottom 2 corners. And there are no concessions. You must shoot out every 10 ball. First time is a earning. Second time is a loss of the game that you conceded and 1 to game.
I'm wondering if he's going to take the opportunity to maybe push that 10 ball out of the way, give him a little bit more room for getting from the 3 to the 5 ball here. He's chalking up low. And, he did not want to nudge that 6 ball. And he's actually made getting on the 5 ball that much more tricky.
What would you do here? I would think he's going to come off the rack.
Me personally, I would play safety, but that's because I'm an amateur. Jose Parica is going to hit the ball so perfectly and get great shape on the 5 ball, and that's why he's the giant killer. What was his nickname again?
It is
something killer.
Yes.
While I have this opportunity, I'm going to say hi to Frank in the live stream chat. Hi, Frank. And I see also Ron Park. Ronnie Park is in the chat. Hi, Ronnie.
So now he's sizing up where he's going to have to be for the 6.
Yeah, he's going to have to put some juice on this ball. He's not dead straight. Doesn't have a nice, comfortable angle. So he's going to have to throw some inside English on this ball. And see, people see that shot and they'll think, oh, he just missed that ball and that was a hanger. It wasn't a hanger because he had to put action on the cue ball, and that caused him to miss the 5. Now, this is the Predator Pro-Am Tour rules, call shot, call safety. So Robb would have the option to give this shot back to Jose should he choose to, because if you call the ball and don't make it, your opponent has the option when he comes to the table to either take the shot as it lays or give the shot back to his opponent.
Looks like he's going to go for it.
And is the 8 ball going to get in his way? No, he hit that great. Good shot by Robb.
He's almost too far, but I think he's just where he wants to be.
He's good. Yeah.
Robb Saez began playing receiving inspiration from his father.
Oh, I actually didn't know his father played.
His father played. He says that's where his passion comes from.
Got a lot of pool players that have that same story. Wow, he hit that great. He had to put some definite power in that shot in order to push that cue ball back over for the 7. Nice little cinch shot there. And I think Robb's going to be taking this first rack.
He's really followed the right patterns here to give himself a nice clean shot at 10.
Okay.
these sequential games always have a difficulty in getting around and reaching where you need to, but he's done it quite effortlessly and really made it look easy here.
That's what they do. I think that's sometimes what hurts pool from a viewer perspective, because the pros are so good. They make it look so easy. Everybody thinks they can do the same thing, and then they get to the table, and it's a lot more difficult than it looks. And Robb Saez is going to take that first rack, 1-0, against Jose Parica. While I have this opportunity, I'd like to thank some of our sponsors. We'd first like to thank the title sponsor, Predator Q's, title sponsor for the Predator Pro-Am Tour. Also like to thank the National Amateur Pool League today, NAPL.com.
Who's bringing this to a scale? This is Inside Pool Mag and the NYC Grind.
You got it. Inside Pool and NYC Grind.
Table 26, Kelly Wong and Rasta Rio and Kelly Wong and Hope Dix.
NYC Grind, led by Jerry Taratola, Allison Fisher. They've got a contributing writer, Jeff Conway. Brian Leung does a lot of photography. And I also think there's a player by the name of Keith Diaz who's also now doing writing for them. They work so hard. It's so often a thankless job. And NYC Grind is such a huge part of the New York pool scene, as well as it's becoming more national. I think more and more people are going to NYC Grind to get their pool updates. So kudos to JT and the whole NYC crowd, including my girl, Allison Fisher. Rob has picked, I think, the exact same spot that Jose picked. Let's break those balls. And did you see anything?
It looks like he didn't have the same success that Jose did for that break.
It's hard for me. I count to 9, and I think he didn't drop anything, but this is 10 ball. I'm looking at too much 9 ball all weekend. He did make a ball on the break there. Except the 9 ball.
Yes.
Players, please, if your match is done, please report to the tournament desk immediately so that we can hold another match on our table. Thank you very much.
Very nicely done.
He had a choice there if he wanted to break out that 10 ball, but I think he might want to leave it for later in the round.
Yeah, he actually might choose to do that now. If you hit the 10 ball in the face, he still would have a shot at the 3 ball. If you come from behind it, you risk not having another shot, and there he goes.
Exactly what he did.
Nicely done. A couple more of our sponsors. We have Poison Billiards, poolonthenet.com. Rob Ullman does all of our website updates for us. Delta 13 racks. They've got beautiful new Delta 13 Select racks that are out. They just released them. They're awesome. I mean, they are fantastic racks. We've got Pocket Coach.
Ross Lacey and Coca on table 24.
BilliardPress.com.
You get 1 on 7 on 24.
Pool.bz, QTable.com, and Master Chalk. And some of our media sponsors are Inside Pool, New York City Grind, NYC Grind, Pool Mac, Billiards Digest, and AZ Billiards. There you go. And we'll also take this opportunity to thank Mr. Alvin, who is the reason that we are able to have these live streams run so efficiently. This guy is here nonstop, running around, changing a wire here, tweaking a wire there, changing the camera angle. He works so hard, so thank you very, very much, Alvin, for all the hard work that you do. And he puts his head down in this little embarrassed motion. Stop talking about me, Gail. Rob looks pretty comfortable.
It looks like he's not having any problems with this rack so far. Jose hasn't had a chance to even get up yet, has he, for this rack?
No, definitely. This is straight off the break. And I don't think he's gonna. Rob played that so good, getting that breakout shot when the 10 was all tied up.
He did. Once he did that, he opened up the door to the whole rack. There was nothing that was going to stop him there.
Agreed. We have so many people in this room. If you are in the area, I highly recommend coming down to Steinway Billiards in Astoria, Queens. This place is packed. You have basically a little mini U.S. Open here with the professionals, along with the top amateurs that played in the amateur Ginky event. I think we've whittled it down to, I think, the top 16 now at this point. The pro event got started. I mean, there have got to be over 300 people in this room right now.
There are, and among them are pool royalty. There are great players all over, the best in the country here today at Steinway Billiards.
Yeah, we got Shane Van Boning. We've got Dennis Hatch. We've got Earl Strickland. We've got Jose Parica and Robb Saez that you're watching right now. Obviously, Tony Robles is in the house. I got Zions V and Hunter Lombardo. You watched them earlier. Jennifer Beretta. I know I'm missing people. Mike Miller, I know he's playing Shane Van Boning first round. Tons of professionals, top players are playing in this event. It's awesome pool.
And this is a great opportunity. Thank goodness that Inside Pool and NYC Grind also make it available all around the world for people to watch what's going on right here in Queens, New York at Steinway Billiards.
Oh, he could see just enough of that ball. But he's not going to get this safety here. He's just going to let it squeak out. Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Ronnie Park. Stevie Moore is also in the house playing in this event. The draw was quite interesting. I witnessed it. Completely random draw. And first came up Earl Strickland because the player was alphabetized. Earl Strickland shows up at the bottom of the chart. Get on down to the Jays. Jason Shaw, right above him. not playing, but they're, one slot above him. And then we get down to the S's, and sure enough, Shane Van Boning squeezes right between the two of them. So second round, unless something crazy happens, you might see a Shane-Earl matchup on this TV table next.
And that would, of course, be sort of like almost a LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, if you wanted to compare it.
That's right. That's a good analogy. I like that.
Earl Strickland, of course, undisputedly one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Oh yeah.
And Shane right now is just taking the world by storm. So
I don't think there's a player better right now. I really don't.
It will be quite a matchup to see those two titans take at it.
And I don't know if he hooked himself there. Let's see if we can get any kind of an angle. Oh, no, I think he's fine. Nicely done. Well done. I think Jose is going to be sitting for a little while. Rob's on a tear right now. Does not want to let that giant killer get back to the table. I believe the next match on this table is undecided at this point. We have to see how the first round goes, how long this match takes, and then we'll have an update on what the next match is. I'm pretty certain the next match will be the winner of Mike Miller and Shane Van Boning versus the winner of Earl Strickland and his opponent. I cannot remember his opponent's name at this moment. We also have Frankie Hernandez and George Rodriguez in the house, who are playing a first-round match together. Oof. He used all the pocket on that one, but he got it in.
And this shouldn't be any kind of problem for Rob. And
that was a two-pack.
With that, he wins the rack and sets himself up 3-0 in this race to 9.
Yes. Now, Russell, tell me a bit about yourself. How did you find your way over here?
Just a lover of the game, and My father let me know that down here today we had a bunch of the best players in the world showing up at Steinway Billiards, and I mean, I was close enough that I could be part of it.
Good opportunity to see these people in person. Watch a lot of great pool. And you actually play in one of the sponsors' leagues here, the National Amateur Pool League.
I do. I am in the NAPL, proudly so. Now in Brooklyn, where we're widely expanding and growing the league.
Good.
I've been playing for about 8 months now, and joining the league has been such a great experience. Here we see the break.
Do we have anything pocketed on the break? 4, 8, 3. Parica gets back to the table.
I'm sure that's a bit of a disappointment for Rob, because I don't think he was going to miss for the rest of the day.
He was definitely in stroke, but the break has a way of evening everything out. And he's a friendly little nudge there. Now, Jose is not the tallest person in the room, that's for sure. So we might see some bridge action going. He's going to have to pocket this one ball and drag the cue ball all the way down. He'll hit the top rail first. Drag it on down. Now the 4 ball is going to be tricky. He's got some work cut out for him trying to get from the 3 to the 4 ball and figuring out what to do with that 4 ball. And I don't know about that shot.
That does put him in a tough spot. Of course, you can't tell here with this angle, but there's a lot of people in here watching this game. There's a lot of pressure on him.
A little rail first action.
Looks like he...
And friendly bump on the 6 again. He likes touching that 6 ball.
That might have been to his detriment in that case.
It's hard to tell. Let me see if I can get us an angle on the 3. I want to say the 3 clears into that corner pocket, but now if this was Oliver shooting or Ralph Eckert, I say they're going for the combo, because those German street pool players, they make combos that nobody in their right mind would think about making, and they go for they make the most amazing combos. I don't think that's what he's going for, since he seems to be trying to figure out what to do with the 4.
Yeah, I don't think he's a very fast and loose player. I think,
No. They don't call him the giant killer for nothing. He's going to take his time on this, and I personally don't know what he could do here. I mean, obviously he can shoot the 4-8 combo, but the 7 and the 5 ball being there, it just makes everything that much more complicated. He's got to, it's not just the 4-8 he's got to contend with. He's also got to figure out what the 4 is going to do after, and then make sure that the 5 ball doesn't get in his way. I told you he likes that 6 ball. And folks, if you want to know what he's going to do, I have no idea. Safety? Maybe safety? Bump the 4 to the rail?
Yeah, if he was going to take a tricky combo, it would have been with the 10 ball. So it's hard to say what he might do here. A lot of safety opportunities, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
or there's that.
Carom.
Well, this is why I am sitting in the chair commentating for you guys rather than playing. That was an excellent shot. I wonder if I would imagine. I mean, he's Filipino. He's got to have 3 cushion action in his background.
I'm sure.
Parica's been part of the New York pool scene here and there for a couple of years now. I mean, he's been playing in a couple of the Predator Pro events here, and with so much New York City pool action in the last, really the month of August has been all about pool in New York. And so he's been sticking around the area, enjoying it.
He was named Player of the Year in 1997. He's the only player to achieve a perfect game of 9 ball in a race to 11 match.
Ooh, perfect epic game.
That's right, and he's also the only Filipino to win all final titles against all Filipino counterparts.
Well, that is definitely something to be proud of because those Filipinos, they know how to play a little game.
Maybe take a bank under the 6 to give him shape for the 7.
Yeah, he should be fine here, but he got himself tricky on that 6 ball, and he should be fine. But you can tell that I think Robb right now is a little bit more in control of his stroke and his game than Jose. I think Jose is still trying to warm up a bit. I mean, this is really the first rack he's gotten to shoot at.
That's true. Robb has had plenty of warm-up time in winning the last 3 racks.
Oh, what a shot. Oh, my. I didn't even know that was possible. Jose gets on the board.
You can hear the scattered applause here at Steinway, where everybody has the opportunity to see these games right in person.
Mm-hmm.
And those who are too far to come on down to Queens and see it here at Steinway can watch it here on NYC Grind Inside Pool.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the tournament directors of this event. When I tell you it's a lot of work, I am so underestimating in that statement. I mean, this is weeks and weeks and weeks of preparation, lots of behind-the-scene action, even before Saturday happened. Trying to get the player entries, because this is a prepaid event, get the player entry, get the player list updated all the time, call people because it's pool players, so I don't have the most responsible people on the planet working in my favor. But we'll give a big thank you to Tony Robles and William Finnegan of the Predator Pro-Am Tour, John Lehman, Todd Fleetman, Rick Shellhouse of the Tri-State Tour, and Jose Burgos of the Mez Tour. Thank you very, very much for all the work that you do to make this event happen. Robb, back at the table.
I'm sure Robb has looked on to this opportunity with some eagerness.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a nice hanger on that 10 ball in the
Table 16, Nelson Colorado, strong
It ended up being the result of a couple later on.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you can't just make it. You have to call it.
Uh-oh. We might see a jump cue. Earl's favorite. Earl Strickland is a very outspoken advocate of no jump cues allowed.
That's
Oh, very much so. If you want to get Earl on tilt, just bring out your jump cue. There have been a few occasions where he was mumbling in his chair, louder than most people mumble about the jump cue.
Well, Earl does have some pretty strong opinions, and he's not afraid to share them. That's for sure.
That is true. Robb would have to call the 9 ball here, and he might want to keep that jump cue out. And he's got even more work because he's got the 6 ball. That's probably why he's not going to be using that jump cue again. Oh, he could see that whole ball. I couldn't tell. From that angle, it didn't look like that, but he could see that whole ball, and now only getting on the 4 ball, and he should be good to go. Let's see. Maybe we can see the 4. He could even very possibly hit the 4 off the rail and make the 10 ball. Oh.
He drew back on that one.
That shot well. He had to slice through there for the 7 ball first.
I don't see him having any other hiccups in this rack.
No. I like that shot. A lot of people would have come around, made the cue ball do a little bit more dancing before you got good on the 7 ball. A lot of people would even go for the 7-10 combo. But I like the fact that he kept it simple. Said, I'm not going to move the cue ball too much. I can make the 7 ball in the side pocket. No problems. Let's just make it easy. I like that. You don't have to contend with the rails or the cloth speed.
It's true, there's so many different variables on each shot, but if you've got a nice easy run, nice easy rack to just take your time with, looks like Robb doesn't have any regrets either.
Nope, I agree. And Robb takes the lead 4-1 against Jose Parica. You are watching the 3rd annual George Ginky Sanssouci Memorial Tournament here at Steinway Billiards. And this broadcast is brought to you by Inside Pool and NYC Grind. Is this your first time at Steinway?
This is not. I have had the honor of playing on that table there, dubbed the George Ginky Sanssouci table. Of course, not under the same pressurous conditions that these guys are facing, but of course, Ginky was a pool player right here from New York. He grew up in Yorkville, and this was one of his favorite pool rooms.
I will never forget that fateful day that we got the news about Ginky. The New York pool scene was devastated with that news, and this tournament is in remembrance of all that George was to the New York City pool scene. I mean, what was so great about Ginky was that, first of all, Tony's father used to call him the computer because he just knew everything, and if he didn't, he wanted to make sure he was at that table working on it over and over and over again. Tony said to me the difference between an amateur and a pro is pro plays a shot until he makes it. I mean, an amateur plays a shot until he makes it, and a pro plays a shot until he can't miss. And that's the difference between those two. And that was definitely Ginky. Ginky wanted to make sure he knew how to do everything. He was a master at safeties, kicking. He was a intellect of the game, not just a pocketer. And he's sorely, sorely missed down here in the New York City pool scene, as well as everywhere else. Every time we go anywhere around the country, you see people, man, I'm really sorry to hear about Ginky. I mean, he made his mark on a lot of pool players all over the world. So I hope to keep his memory alive.
Robb's looking now at how he can hit this one and still get shape on his next shot. Oh, and he hit that beautifully. It looks like he did just what he wanted to do. He's got outstanding position. Of course, we can take this moment to thank some of our sponsors, PredatorCues.com, PlayNAPL.com, the league that I'm a member of, PoisonBilliards.com, Pool on the Net, Delta13.com, Pocket Coach, BilliardPress.com, Pool.bz, QTable.com, and Master Chalk. And anybody who comes down to Steinway today might have the opportunity to meet some of this pool royalty that's here among us. from Tony Robles and some of the other players that Gail mentioned earlier, including Earl Strickland.
Shane Van Boning, who might be playing on this TV table next, we're not sure. Have to wait and see what happens in the first round.
What are the odds of him coming up against Earl Strickland?
I think if I were gambling, I'd bet that they're about to play next. But Mike Miller, who's playing Shane Van Boning also in the first round, might have something to say about that. But there is a pretty good chance that they will be playing each other in the second round.
That's definitely something worth staying tuned for, for that possibility.
I used to be so scared of those shots, just because it always looked like it was going to scratch.
You know, I'm still quite scared of those shots. And it does often scratch, in fact. I don't think that's a fear for him at the moment.
I don't think so. Well, we were, they had the Steinway Classic here a week ago, and the craziest ending to a match happened I have ever seen. It was Ralph Eckert versus Dennis Hatch. And Hill, of course, because all the drama always happens Hill. Hill, Ralph Eckert runs out the rack, gets to the 10 ball, makes the 9 ball, cue ball's coming down for the 10 ball, he gets corner hooked. His pocket saved for the 10 ball.
Oh.
It was crazy. The whole room just hushed. All of a sudden, he decides to masse. He does make contact with the 10 ball, but it was a decently easy shot for Dennis. I'm surprised Ralph didn't give him the shot, but there are no concessions. Dennis shoots the 10 ball in the side pocket. Cue ball drags, falls into the side pocket.
Unbelievable.
The opposing side pocket.
Oh.
It was the craziest ending I've ever seen in a pool match.
And of course, he gets perfect shape on the 10.
Robb Saez takes a 5-1 lead in this race to 9 at the 3rd annual George Ginky Sansusi Memorial Tournament here at Steinway Billiards. And this broadcast is brought to you by Inside Pool and NYC Grind. NYC Grind is Jerry Tarantola, Allison Fisher. They work so darn hard. So thank you to Inside Pool and NYC Grind for this free broadcast to you guys. And they're picking that same spot for the break. Nobody's moved around.
It's close to the spot. They've got... what are some of the reasons you might pick a different spot?
If, let's say that's the spot you like to break from, that's where you're most comfortable, but you're not potting a ball on the break. You want to move the cue ball around it and try some different positions where the cue ball might hit the 1 ball, strike it a little differently, because each table is going to rack a little different. The balls might be a different size sometimes. These balls get played on so much that sometimes a certain ball might be just slightly smaller. It's been pounded enough. Sometimes even ball sets get mixed up. So you might have one Centennial that's mixed in with the rest of the Aramiths. It shouldn't happen that way, but it does. So you'll see a lot of players, when they're unsuccessful on the break, they'll move their cue ball around. The other thing they might do is, instead of hitting the 1 ball dead square, they might choose a cut break, hitting half the 1 ball, just basically changing. I think one of the worst things that players do is they get stuck in one particular way they like to do things. And stupidity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So that's what they'll do. They'll change it up a bit. But the break has been successful, half and half, I think. I think Rob's making a ball about half the time. And I've actually seen him he nearly scratched in that side pocket the last time, so he didn't hit the 1 ball the same way he did when he did pot a ball on the break.
That's a very, very effective save, I would say, by Jose. change the angle.
I'll take this opportunity to say hi to Dale in the chat. Hi, Dale. Dale Gould, friend of mine. Thank you for watching, and thanks to all of you guys out there for watching this live stream.
Table 18,
A very
Michael
defensive
McNaughton
game
and
now.
Robert Hart. Table 15.
Let's take a look at this shot from this angle.
And this is a tricky return safety for Jose. He's got to hit a rail. That was
Table 14.
very well done.
And John
He had to make sure he hit that cue ball so perfectly that it stayed there,
Table 14.
and that the two ball didn't skim off the six. Because if it skims off the six, now he's wide open two ball.
For amateur players like me, it's a real pleasure to be able to watch a couple masters in action like this. I was watching the Classic last week on, was that also on NYC Grind?
It was NYC and Inside Pool.
I was watching it from my cell phone. I was streaming it live, and as I grow as a pool player with the NAPL league, it's nice for me to have the opportunity to really come down and see the pros go at it.
Well, and this rack is a perfect example. I think a lot of people, when they start to play pool, they just see people making the balls, run out, or trying to run out, and going for ridiculous shots. And I think one of the great things about amateurs watching the pros is that you see they don't play just run out pool, they play smart pool. And I think it's a good exposure for amateurs to see the defensive part of this game, which brings so much more intelligence to the sport and how people are running out. I mean, at least for me, the way I grew up in my house, you weren't allowed to play safety. It was called crap pool. And so when I started to play pool for real, I would go home and I played my dad, and my dad was like, what are you doing? You're not allowed to hit the ball just softly into the rail. You got to go for it. I'm like, no, Daddy, I'm not doing that. We're not playing that funny game anymore.
Yeah, you'll see some players who, I once played a fellow who, I would say he never took a shot unless he had ball in hand, and he spent every shot trying to make sure that I didn't get one.
Nice.
Table 12, Lisa Schwalk, Frankie Cutler. Table 12.
Can he skim by that 7 ball? Yes, he can.
Quite effortlessly.
Yeah. While I'm looking out at the tournament room, for those of you interested in some of the other matches going on, I know they're going to be putting the chart up soon on live stream news. I know Upstate Al has been really good about updating that chart for you guys, and I think he's probably working on getting the Open Pro chart to you. But I do see Matt Vergara and Mike Wong, both New York City players, playing in a first round match. I know Tony Robles is playing Greg McAndrews at the moment. Jennifer Beretta playing Raj Vanala. And looking mighty fine, if I do say so myself. Well, thank you, Canadian Samurai. I appreciate that. I am in the booth. This is Gail Glazebrook, and I am in the booth with Russell Midori.
And it looks like Jose is going to put himself in a 5-2 position here. He's back on top of the racks.
Jose gets another rack on the board. He is behind
That must
5
be
to 2.
He's still got his work cut out for him in this race to 9.
Race to 9. This is the Predator Pro-Am Tour's 10-ball rules that we are using. It is call shot, call safety, rack your own. Players have to call the ball if they want to make a ball in a pocket. If they go for it and miss, their opponent comes to the table and has the option to take the rack as it lays or return the rack back to them.
And do they have the option to push after the break here, Gail?
They do. Yes. Your standard push rules do apply. Is that Grace Nakamura in the chat? Hi, Grace. And, made the 6 ball there. And he's got a very tough shot on the 1 ball. If he can get to this 1 ball, if he can successfully make this 1 ball and get position on the 2 ball, I put Jose as a heavy favorite to win this rack. If I can look at the 4 ball real quick and just see if that clears. Well, actually, you know what? I retract. 4 ball is a little tricky. I don't even know if it has a pocket. It's hard for me to tell if it clears that 9 ball in the bottom left-hand corner.
Well, he's actually got his work cut out for him right now at this 1.
Yeah, I might be getting ahead of myself a little. Ooh, you're right.
Yeah, it looks like the 4 ball will go ahead and be Robb's problem.
Well, actually, it'll be interesting if Jose called that 1. Because if he called the 1, Robb could give this right back to him, and it looks like he did.
That's exactly what he did.
And in this race to 9, Jose is at the table again. And he's taking his sweet time. This is such a critical part of the match because Jose knows 5-3 is a very, very, very different score than 6-2. In a race to 9, I mean, this rack is so critical to Jose staying in this game.
Did he break out the jump cue?
Yes, he did. And I'm curious to know if he called safe.
Whether he did or didn't, I'm sure Robb is happy to give this one a shot. At least he can see the ball in this instance.
Mm-hmm. I cannot get over the number of people in this room. There are so many people in this room. Ooh, he absolutely overcut that ball.
That's got to sting for him.
It will. And Jose is looking at a very sweet shot on the 1 ball. Now he's trying to figure out what he's going to do with that 4. That 4 looks to be tied up with the 9 ball at this point. I don't know. I don't know if he'll try to negotiate that 9-4 now. He'll try to break that out.
We'll wait until later in the rack.
I'm not sure.
Of course, he's a very experienced pool player. He actually, did you know that he retired in 1994?
This is retirement?
This was retirement. He retired in 1994, and then while he was visiting Las Vegas, his wife Aurora overheard a Filipino say that Efren Reyes was the best Filipino player ever. And he decided to take that on as a challenge and,
Love it.
and resumed his career.
The competitive nature took over, and he said, "Screw this retirement."
And then he ended up in 1997. He beat Reyes 6 in a row, and Archer, another Filipino player, 7 times.
Wow. Are you talking about Johnny Archer?
That's correct.
Yeah, Johnny Archer.
He was Player of the Year in 1996.
He's been Player of the Year a lot of years. That was a really, really, really great shot by Jose there. He actually elected to shoot the 1 ball clean, and then shot the 2 ball and broke out the 4-9 coming off the rail after he made the 2 ball in the corner pocket. Really great shot. And if we can look at the 4-10 and see if, I believe that also goes into the corner pocket. So I think we may have a closer game after this rack is complete. Boy, if that wasn't pocket speed, I don't know what is.
He looks a little disappointed with it.
I don't know what's going on with the 4. I mean, it looks to me from this angle that the 9 ball is blocking it. So that would mean maybe
a combination.
tear him off the 7. I don't know. Oh no, he had a clean. It's so. All right. Sorry, boys and girls. It's hard to see from this angle.
Game 20. Table 20, Chris Durlonsky, Joey Koshiak, table 20.
That was a first round match. I'm wondering who won. I know Joey K was playing against Jeremy Sosi. I'm wondering who won that match. I know that was a first round. And good shot by Jose there. Used all the pocket, but he got it in. A little bit of bucket help. He wanted to draw that back a little bit more. He's fine, but
Okay, but that isn't exactly where he wanted the position.
no. He'll be fine. And we have a 5-3 race. Jose Parica goes to the gap.
The giant killer is working on killing that giant gap that he had between him and Rob.
That's right. Right. I'm curious to see what Jose does in the break here, because I think he broke dry, I think, both times. So, the dreaded break. Shall see. Right in front of me, I got another match going on. I believe this is Bill Cody versus Tom D'Alfonso, and both of them are wearing snooker shirts. Snooker's pool room up in Rhode Island. And see how he changed sides?
He did.
He did change. And he's now successful.
One.
See, I'm really the one that taught him about changing up the break. You know, that was me.
That was, maybe he might have overheard you hear from the announcer.
So he did make a ball on the break. He potted the 1 ball in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And he doesn't have a great shot on this 2 ball. I really don't see what he can do outside of playing a safety. But he does actually look like he might be going for the
I think he might be
Karam.
looking to Karam.
Yeah.
To that 3. And he does.
He does, and oh my gosh. That looked like the scratch from Dennis Hatch at the Steinway Classic. That's how it just fell in. Wow, he is sick.
That's quite a break for Rob. He's going to have the opportunity to put the ball anywhere he wants to on the table now.
Wide open.
And he's got a nice run ahead of him if he makes all these.
I'm not trying to commentary Jinx, but he's got no business not running out this rack.
And
5
I mentioned Snooker's pool room up in Rhode Island. The Predator Tour, will actually be having a stop there in 2 weeks. Our first time ever going up to Snooker's Snooker's pool room in Rhode Island. So if any of the people watching on the stream in that area or anywhere around the area wanted to come play in a pro event, a Predator Pro-Am Tour Stop event, it'll be the first time we're up there. So please come on down and test your skills.
In an interview with NYC Grind, Robb said that he's very passionate about being neat.
Being neat?
Being neat. That was, they asked him what he was passionate about besides pool. And I think he's got a nice, neat rack ahead of him here.
Very true. Uh-oh. See, I think I did commentary, Jinx. Look, he can make this ball, don't get me wrong. But that is not the position you want to be in. I don't know. I'm a lowly amateur, but I like shooting the 7-ball, shooting the 7-ball on the side, just because it was easy. See, it's an easier shot, it's a bigger pocket. But he's Robb Saez. He's going to make that ball, there's no problems. And he's perfect. Natural position to get on the 9-ball. Now, the only thing he's got to contend with is making sure his shirt or nothing on him, nothing touches that 10-ball, because we do play, if you make contact with the cue ball and the balls are in motion, and you touch anything, your stick, your cue, anything at all touches, it is a foul, ball in hand for your opponent.
Wow. Is that how they play it with the amateurs in the amateur tournament here at Steinway?
That is correct. And he got a nice friendly bump on that 9-ball. He was very fortunate to end up basically straight.
And with that, Robb continues to take the lead at 6-3 now.
Mm-hmm.
Robb started playing with his dad when he was a kid, and he said that was his biggest inspiration for pool. I've been playing pool for about 8 months, and my father introduced me to the game, and he introduced me to the NAPL League right there in Brooklyn. So I can relate.
I actually also started playing with my father. We had a pool table, and I was absolutely a tomboy. So I wanted to do anything the boys were doing, and they often found themselves in the pool room during family get-togethers. So I started out just throwing the balls with my hands, and then my dad took a cue, broke it apart, and I got to use the front. That was my little cue, my mini cue. And and then I moved on to the bigger one. Now, somebody in the chat has asked what the membership fee at the Predator Tour is going to be for Snookers. I can't give you a definite answer, but I do know we have a one-time membership fee of $15, and I think a lot of the players out in the Snookers area will be using that one-time membership fee. The typical membership fee for the Predator Tour is $30, and I know many people pay the $30 because they want to be allowed to play in the finale, which is going to be at Rax this year in December. Robb is sticking with his spot, though. Jose moved around, but Robb's sticking with it. You'll see Robb has the 1, 2, 3 front corner. And I do see a ball was potted on the break, but again, he's got those 2 balls tied up, and that seems to be something consistent that happens to him. It's hard for me to tell, but maybe that 2 ball goes into the side pocket. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the 4 ball. Different camera angle. That's the 4-8 that's tied up.
He's not going to let himself worry about it all with a very well-played safe.
Mm-hmm. Did he let that squeak out? I can't tell. Can he see that one ball?
I think he can get a look at it, and I think it might bank into the side. And it looks like that's what he's aiming for.
Oh, if he can bank that one ball into the side, Robb's going to be sick.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if physics allows for it. I'm going to change the angle. Oh, no, let's stay right there so we can get a look at the shot.
Well, he could bank it, but he's not that hard enough to play a return safety back. So while Robb didn't execute his safety correctly, he's still left an awkward enough position. One of the best lessons I learned from Tony was safety doesn't necessarily. What did he just do?
I'm not sure if he was intentionally trying to shoot. No, I think he missed a pretty straight-on shot at the 1. And then it came and shot back at the 10. I don't know what it was that he called for there.
There's a thin cut on the 1 ball if he's choosing to go for this. If he missed that ball, I mean, I don't think that Jose is going to be giving this ball back. But if he did miss that ball, Jose would have the option to give the table back to Robb, should he choose.
Went for the cut.
In the drink. Oh, Jose. And once again, Robb gets ball in hand. I'm really curious to see him get from the 3 to the 4, just because that 3 is in a bit of a precarious position, with the 7 ball being a pretty big ball. I'd like to learn something here. Oh, look what he did. That fancy little devil. He got darn near straight on that 3 ball, knowing he had to come down for position on the 4, because the 4 really only going to go into that side pocket comfortably. Well played, Mr. Saez.
You know, Robb is in a stroke right now where, number one, his strategy is right on point and his execution is very flawless.
Mm-hmm.
When those two things come together, it really makes him unstoppable.
Oh, commentary jinx. Oh, Robb Saez absolutely did not want to run into that 8 ball. And good example of how anytime you're putting the cue ball and you're going to run into balls, funny things can happen. And what's he going to do here?
I think he's breaking out the jump cue again.
And I believe, I gotta get a better look at the jump cue, but I believe that's a Predator air jump. For the record, Predator Cues, the title sponsor of the Predator Pro-Am Tour. Oh! In the drink again! Cue ball likes to stay wet in this rack.
And so Robb returned the favor that Jose did him earlier in the match.
Yeah. I could hear Jose. You couldn't leave me with an easy run out. Oh. Okay, I mean, he's fine, but he's not in stroke. This is not Jose's most comfortable match he's ever played. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Poor Jose. Oh. Robb is itching to get to the table.
You can see Jose is upset, usually not showing his emotions, but he's pretty disappointed in that shot.
Robb will shockingly get back to the table and run these last two balls. Guarantee he did not think he was going to see this rack again. And Robb increases his lead 7-3 against Jose Parica.
Robb is ranked 162nd on the money leaderboard for AZ Billiards, one of our sponsors.
I wonder if all the money he's ever made is in there. I think there may be some undisclosed.
We'll never know.
I mean, I'm sure that's everything. He did a good job of bringing the cue ball pretty much square backwards in a direct line. He did make the two ball and the three rail going around, and he can see the one ball obviously, but unfortunately it's very, very close to the one ball. So he's going to elect to play a safety, and these two players clearly do not have the speed of the table down yet. I've seen the last 4 times they've made safety attempts, they did not successfully hide the ball. And also, you know, something to keep in mind, this is the second match to be played on this live stream. It's 4:30 in the afternoon, but these matches, this table is still warming up for the day. You have this room that was really cold all night because they got the air conditioner going, and then the TV table comes on, the lights go on, and it gets everything warmer. It changes the way the table plays. So you don't, I'm not sure if they're trying to readjust as the table gets used more often throughout the day. And I just got the wire. Our next TV match will be Dan Centron versus Jason Shaw from Scotland.
Is that so?
I think he's from Scotland.
That's a nice Scottish accent there.
That's the only thing I can say in the Scottish accent. That and Bernard from Braveheart, because Tony makes me watch that movie all the time. A wee bit. He makes me watch it a wee bit. Robb is looking to run this rack out and continue increasing his lead, taking advantage of a lot of missed opportunities by Jose. And he's looking good, man. I don't know. I keep an eye on Robb throughout the tournament because he's looking really, really good right now.
He's very confident. He's definitely in his stroke. He feels You can see he's found his element here today.
Robb Saez has been working with NYC Grind for player profiles. I know that they were in talks about following Robb around a little bit. He does go on the road a lot. Robb's a veteran of the game. Maybe people in the chat can correct me. Doesn't he play a lot of one pocket? Am I wrong about that? I know he plays 10 ball really well. We're watching it. But I want to say when he goes on the road, I hear about him playing one pocket a lot. But I could be wrong. Nice shot there. I like the fact that he made sure to come off the rail on that shot. A lot of players don't play to come off the rail, and then they find themselves stuck on the rail. And that, you lose more than half the cue ball when you do that. While Robb finishes running out the rest of this rack, I'll take this opportunity to thank some of our sponsors. Predator Cues, the title sponsor for the Predator Pro-Am Tour. The National Amateur Pool League, Tony Robles' Amateur Pool League, playnapl.com. Poison Billiards, poolonthenet.com. Rob Ullman does a lot of website updates for a lot of the tours in the area. Delta 13 racks, they have a brand new rack out called the Delta Select. Awesome rack. I think it was a major upgrade for their rack company. BilliardPress.com, Pocket Coach, Pool.biz, QTable.com, and Master Chalk. We also have some media sponsors that Russell will mention.
Here we've got Inside Pool and NYC Grind who are bringing this live stream to us. Also, we have Pool Mac, Billiards Digest, and azbilliards.com.
And of course, the amazing, the fabulous, the sleeping Alvin. He wasn't really sleeping, he was just resting his eyelids. He works so hard. I see him on top of tables, buried in wires. He's always working to bring you this live stream in the most awesomest of fashions. So thank you, Alvin. Jose gets to see the table. No, I wasn't paying attention. Did Robb break in that same spot?
Robb did break in the exact same spot that you don't like.
I just think it's 50-50. I think he's ahead in the race a little bit. Change it up a bit. See if you can find another successful place on the table. Now this is a funny angle. This is, unless he can drag out of it, go to the short rail first, because the thing is, the angle that he's got right now, naturally, the cue ball is going to go towards that first diamond, spin it out, and you're going to have the 8 ball to contend with. So he might just, I'm not sure. Yep, 10 ball. And we don't have action. It was tricky because there was a lot of balls in the way. And Jose's not happy at all.
This is his last chance. Robb has him on the hill.
That's right.
So this is the game that he's fighting to stay in with. It'll be quite a comeback, though, if Jose can win the 6 games to put him over the top.
That's a good shot. If you can put him on that rail, it's an even better shot. I like that.
It looks like maybe he is getting the speed of the table.
Yeah, and you know what? That's what I was saying earlier about. Tony mentioned to me one time, I always thought safeties was you don't let them see the ball. That's not always true. Sometimes you just make their life miserable. He said if you can't play a lock-up safety, why not just try and make their life miserable? Tony Robles, by the way, the nicest guy in pool, supposedly said that. That's a quote. Make their life miserable. And Jose, poor Jose.
When you're playing on these bigger tables, it does make it a little harder to completely hide the ball, I think. Got some cue balls flying our way.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I'm going to need some liability insurance up in here.
Yeah. Every now and then, it's Steinway Billiards, things get out of hand.
Poor Jose. I actually kind of want him to get a roll here.
Well, it would be a pretty exciting Rocky-esque comeback for him today if he can make this happen.
Jose Parica's Rocky. Robb Saez is Mr. T. And he's not going to get a roll.
I'm not sure he made Rob's life very miserable.
No. Poor guy. Anybody in the area looking to come down, watch this stuff in person? We're at Steinway Billiards in Astoria, Queens. Steinway is a great room, tons of space for you to come sit down. Well, not tons of space. There's actually almost all the seats are full, but you can still come and watch. The food here cannot be beat. It is so good. I mean, I can't find one thing on the menu I don't like.
And the service is really great too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, this is as good as any top pool room in Manhattan, except for there's parking here.
Exactly. That's so true. It's so important. New York City, that's difficult. Isn't there a Geico commercial where he says something like, get car insurance, get RV insurance, get motorcycle insurance, try to find parking? Forget about it.
So there is parking in and around the area here at Steinway. The room has the look and feel of a casino with its busy carpet and.
It's busy carpet. Oh, Robb Saez. Sorry, there's a little part of me. I love Rob. Don't get me wrong, but there's a little part of me that wants to see the gap get closed a little bit more. So, Rob has definitely. Jose is going to sit up in his chair a little bit more.
Jose has made it easy for us to root for the underdog a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But
oh, it's just interesting. I mean, and the thing is that the side pocket's in his way for a natural one rail kick on that side to the left.
And we haven't seen a lot of kicks. Why do you think that is, Gail?
They're pros. If they're kicking,
they don't want to waste that jump cue.
This is a tough jump. You know, there are a couple people that I see jump that I'm just like, wow. A Shin Park, they call him Godzilla. Shin Park, I saw him jump a ball that was literally half an inch away. I mean, the ball he jumped over, it was amazing. Wow, he didn't hit that ball. I mean, he didn't hit that ball.
And Andy pocket scratched, which.
But see, and that's because that side pocket was such a big factor in the one rail kick. He was trying to he hit the right hand side of that, or did he hit the left or the right? I didn't see it. Anyways, he was trying to cut the angle a lot on that ball, and that's why actually it missed the 7 and then came back to the same side pocket that was in his way before. Jose goes, I'm not done
quite
yet.
nicely. Quite nicely up the sides of that table. And he got pretty good shape on the 10. And it looks like he's still got some fight in him. It's now 8-4 here at Steinway Billiards in Astoria. If you're just tuning in, this is the match between Robb Saez and Jose Parica. Two outstanding legends in the game that are brought to you by Inside Pool and the NYC Grind.
And you are listening to Russell Midori, and I am Gail Glazebrook. AZ Healer. Hi, AZ Healer. Yeah, there's a chance that I could be Gail Robles in the near future. I'm not. I'm still on the fence about it. I got a month and a half to decide to finalize my answer. But yeah, at the moment I am engaged to Tony Robles. Still negotiating. And Jose's looking at that rack going, "Come on, baby. Figure out better way to make balls on the break. How about what does he got to make?"
I think he's talking to her right now.
I talk to the balls too. When the cue ball's about to scratch, I give it dirty looks and it stops and it tracks.
Oh.
I'm telling you, for those out there listening, if you want to make a cue ball stop scratching, half the time you just have to give it a dirty look.
When I was in the Marine Corps, we learned we could control physics by simply pointing a knife hand at an object.
Really? Well, don't tell that to those people out there. We've got enough knives in pool rooms. We don't need any more.
The big boss, one time my sergeant major knife-handed the sky and made it stop raining. So,
Really?
yeah, that was
Amazing.
pretty impressive.
Can you do that for my wedding? Jose's picked Robb's spot, but he used the cut break, sort of. But see, I mean, these people don't listen to me. I told you that. I don't like that. I don't like that spot for breaking the balls.
I think Jose needed a knife hand there. I don't think he thought that, did he?
Hey, you didn't scratch.
He does follow your advice of giving the pool balls dirty looks.
And Robb back to the table again, leading this match 8-4. It is the third annual George Ginky Sansusi Memorial Tournament, and we are at Steinway Billiards in Astoria, Queens, New York City. I actually looked around, and there is some of George Ginky, like most of you know him, some of Ginky's family in the audience, Irene and Aaron and a couple of other family members that have come down, show their support and their thanks for all the pool players that have come out to honor the Ginkster. A lot of you do know that Tony and Ginky were extremely close friends. Tony actually named Ginky his son's godfather. And it was a very, very sad day for us when George passed away 3 years ago. And this tournament is in hopes that we forever keep his memory alive. And once again, we have Robb
I think
Saez,
Robb's got ball in hand there.
ball in hand.
I suppose that's why we don't see a lot of kicks in this tournament.
That's good. That's a good point. Now, where's the problem? Where do you think that we might have this match going for another rack? Anything? I got nothing.
Yeah, I would say not to jinx Robb,
No commentary, Jinx.
but there is no reason that he should not run this out right now.
See, I like you saying that, because then Jose might get back to the table again.
So much for objectivity, Gail.
I'm sorry, but I started to root for my little Rocky. But Robb's playing so good. I mean, you got to give the guy kudos. He's playing really, really awesome.
Really.
He has hooked himself twice on end games, and that's the reason Parica has gotten the last 2 racks that he's gotten. But other than that, I mean, he's playing really, really solid pool. And I mean, there are no problems here.
He's in a very powerful place. He's keeping the cue ball in the center of the table, you know, after almost every shot, making sure that he has plenty of options, nothing's in his way. And he has really, really earned the position that he's in at the moment by just playing some masterful pool and playing very consistent, not only making his shots, but picking the right shots to take. And
I agree with you.
it's been quite an impressive show to watch for us here. And for anybody else who's come over to us, I'm like, oh no!
Rocky's alive! Rocky's alive! Oh my gosh! I was not doing that on purpose, Rob. If you watch this, it wasn't intentional. Jose is now back at the table, much to all of our surprise.
Jose is not ready to go down without a fight, I'm sure. I think he's going to get some. Oh, wow, it came off
No,
the
this is
wrist.
perfect. This is perfect. Perfecto.
That's a scary way to hit that ball out. I'm sure that for Jose, that's not a concern. Coming off the rail like that.
You know why I like that? Because the thing is, in this kind of a critical moment in the match, I mean, it's do or die for Jose at this point. And I find when I watch a lot of the amateurs, even myself, you get to a spot where it's do or die, you start to tighten up. You start to like hold back on your stroke, and that's what gets you in trouble. You've got to keep the same fluidity in your stroke. You got to keep the same. You got to let it out. Let what you've worked so hard for work to your advantage, and don't hold back on that stroke. I see so many people hang a ball in the pocket at that critical moment. They're at the table and they're so excited. Oh my God, it's not over yet. I get another chance. And then they get nervous and they tighten and they tighten. And then all of a sudden they're hanging the 8 and the 9 ball. So I like the fact that Jose, with all of his experience, just said, you know what? I got to let my stroke out. And he got great position on that 8 ball to run out the rest of the rack.
It looks like Jose has support from some of the viewers, having won the last 2 games in a row, and shortening the gap between him and Robb Saez to 8-5.
Oh, we got a ball game.
Jose has to know right now what a great opportunity he's gotten here.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'd put Rob on suicide alert if Jose left this out.
He has to know that he really ought to take the time now to make his shots and earn the luck that he just got.
They're picking that spot. Okay. But he made a ball, but he doesn't have a shot. Unless he can he squeeze by the 1 ball? I mean, by that, I guess it's the 4 ball.
Get out there. Get out there and
Darn it, people. I'm going to go give these guys a coach. Give me. Let me at him. I mean, he might be able to backwards cut this one, but it is thin. It's a thin cut.
And it's a hard enough shot that it should be tough to get position afterward.
Yeah. I agree. Oh, good shot.
And he's coming right up.
And he's in. Uh-oh, someone's got table. 50-yard line-ish. It's 50-yard line.
Here he's going after the 3, and he does have. I don't want to do it again.
I was going to say.
I don't want to say it again, but it looks like pretty smooth sailing for him at this point.
It should be smooth sailing. I agree with you. Crazy Tim Crazy Mon has asked me, where do I like to break the 10 ball? I like to break where I'm making balls on the break. So, meaning, I mean, first of all, I don't play a lot of 10 ball. I played in the amateur event here. And but what I was saying earlier in the match is that a lot of times I see players consistently, not at this level, but they'll consistently pick the same spot to break from, even if it's not working for them. And I was told by a coach at one point in time, it's not working for you, change it up, move around, and try to give yourself a better chance of making a ball in the break. If it's not working in one spot, don't keep using that same spot. By the way, it didn't work the first time, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Of course, on the few times that Jose did get to break, he did mix it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Rob has got that very consistent. Maybe that ties into his attitude about neatness.
That's true. Yep, I agree. Nicely done. Very, very nicely done, Jose.
Jose came right to where he wanted to. And that was a break and run. right, for Jose.
Uh,
I think
yeah, because he hit that one ball. Yep.
I think Rob will be kicking himself if Jose comes back from
Oh my gosh, yes.
8-2 or 8-3. I think was the biggest part of the gap at one point. And he'll be kicking himself if this game turns into if he never gets to see the table again.
He's definitely gonna. He's itching to get out of his chair. Itching. I can't see him, but oh, I feel so bad. All of us pool players have been there. You had the moment. You had it in your hands. You could see the finish line, and then you trip.
As for Jose, it looks like he is doing his best to make the most out of this, with 2 games in a row, including a nice break and run, which is not as easy of a feat to accomplish in 10 ball.
Mm-hmm.
You've got obviously 10 different consecutive balls to hit. It's hard to identify the right patterns, but it seems that Jose is certainly well qualified to do so.
And he's gonna have a last-minute entry. So Jose does make a ball in the break. Does not have a good shot on the one ball.
Now, a lot of some of the people who are playing here today also helped to organize the event. Is that right, Gail?
Yes, I mean you have Tony, obviously,
Oh, that was a tough.
but look,
Yeah,
he's hooked, and you know what? We're playing call shot, call safety.
Oh, so he's gonna have to take that again, huh?
I got good odds. You were asking some of the people that are playing in the event that also put it on yet. We've got Tony Robles playing in the event. Jerry Tarantola is playing in this Open Pro event. Greg McAndrews was a contributor for the event, and he is also playing in the Open Pro event. Myself, Jose Burgos, we played in the amateur event.
And how does that wear on you as a player to have the dual responsibilities there? Do you think that helps or hurts you, or?
Oh, it hurts. I mean, no excuses, but you're working. I mean, imagine trying to be at the office and you're also in the middle of a tournament. It's very difficult. This game demands all of your attention, demands it, and you'll find that you make the mistakes when you don't respect that factor. And, I oftentimes will find myself, I'm playing in a match and I'm looking and I see a table that's open next to me. And it's open, and it's open. And clearly, Tony or Finnegan at the moment don't recognize that it's open. And so I'm sitting here going, put a match out. We got to get this tournament moving. So those things definitely throw you off. And, Brian Russell was on this live stream yesterday, and, he really struggled in his match. But he's also running a booth here. He's Focused Apparel shirts are for sale here. And, it's tough to do both the balances.
Well, I'm sure that the players that are both participating and putting it together, we certainly thank them for their efforts in honoring Ginky's memorial here today at Steinway Billiards in Astoria, Queens. Seemingly very happy to be back on the table. Robb Saez is again sitting quite pretty on this rack.
He is. Yes, he is. And I'm not going to say anything more.
The Mr. T to Jose Parica's Rocky today.
Totally true. I wonder if he's contemplating this 6-10 combo.
based on how he's been playing today, I would say that he would be less likely to pursue that, given that he has so many opportunities all over the table and doesn't need to worry too much about, taking a riskier shot when he has a chance to just play it number by number and sink the balls that he aims at. And it looks like he's going to give up that 6-10 combo and trade it for 6-8 combo, maybe?
Mm-hmm. And he hit that shot quite right.
I'm going to take a look at another camera angle here for this one. Looks like he's quite close to the rail on that.
I
Almost.
still think I know it's near the pocket, but he hit that well. I find that those shots are, because he had to put some outside English on the cue ball to get to the center of the table again. He also had a really thin shot on the ball. So, very nice shot by Robb there. A little bit more difficult than it looks.
Of course, a very, very consistent game that he has, at least that he's presenting today.
And Jose's going to give the match to him. And Robb Saez wins that 9-6 against Jose Parica. We are at the 3rd annual George Sancisi Memorial Tournament. We thank you for watching. I'm Gail Glazebrook alongside Russell Midori. Thank you, Russell.
Thank you, Gail, for having me, and it's been a pleasure to announce here at Steinway in Astoria.
Last thank you to our sponsors again, Predator Cues, National Amateur Pool League, play NAPL.com, Pool on the Net, Poison Billiards, Delta 13, Pocket Coach, Billiard Press, Pool.biz, QTable.com, Master Chalk, and our media sponsors.
And of course, a special thanks to Inside Pool and NYC Grind for putting this on for us so that we can stream it all over, as well as Pool Mech, Billiards Digest, and azbilliards.com for their contributions.
Thank you, Alvin.
Thanks.